everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I was thinking today, now that I'm taking this like hiatus from Thrifty Thursday and Friday book haul and all that kind of stuff, I thought I would make some time to do another little project to kind of catch up, because I think August for me is about like getting a bunch of stuff done, using stuff up, reorganizing, and doing a lot of planning. So the one thing I've been very behind on is the Marguerite Miller Collage Weekly Planner. So welcome back to May 23rd through 29th, week 21. I think we're currently on like, I don't even know. So it's not September yet, right? It's still August. So I am probably, a lot of weeks behind. I think it's week 31 right now, right? So let's catch up. Let's just do that. That would be fun. Be a nice kind of relaxed collage. Maybe you could collage along with me. Use up some scraps. If you're behind, maybe catch up. Let's do this. It's okay to fall behind. It's not something I stress about. I have about a million things in my life that I have to do, and this is not one that's pressing, right? It's just, this is about enjoying yourself. It's not like I have found that in the last couple of years, I'm not that great with planning. I just literally have a whiteboard calendar in my kitchen that I add like the must do things to, like appointments and such, and beyond that, whatever. Life is too busy right now. So that being said, let's hop into this. So I've collected what I think I need for this, mostly. So a zoo animal. I have this, this is large format encyclopedia, and it has these few animals on it. It's on cabbage dyed paper, and haven't decided which one I want to use yet, but yeah, there's that. Now, that being said, I'm not a fan of zoos. I don't believe in captivity. I believe that zoos should only exist for working on projects to, conserve animals that are in threat, and some of them do that and some don't. I just have to put that out there because it's an important line of thinking, right? Portion of a food or drink label. I just ran upstairs for a moment and my daughter had torn open one of these roasted seaweed packages, so that's what I'm going to use today. Some handwriting. I was going through this Gerard Manley Hopkins book because I laugh about, this guy is like the most depressing poet ever. He does a lot of very sad poems, which honestly I have more use for than I would ever have thought, but I really do. And it's filled with lots of little notes and handwriting that somebody has, studied in here. A sticker. I've grabbed the antiquarian sticker book that I'm getting through this book sort of. Something found in a doctor's office. So I grabbed this from a Grey's Anatomy book. So there's my doctor's office. She always has lots of anatomical images, either in books or on these like different kinds of displays, because she has to talk to people about their conditions, and having a picture is always helpful. And then the bonus is something in 3. I haven't thought about that one yet, but I don't think that will be hard to accomplish. I'll probably pull from the scraps for that one. So let's just kind of hop into this here and think about what I want in the background. I'm thinking of maybe, I'll have to look at this label and see here. What do I want to use from this packaging of seaweed? So she kind of tore it right down the middle here. That's okay. I will maybe cut this away. So I use that. So I hope everyone is doing well. I am doing okay. I've been definitely very busy this summer, which is always busy in my life, but I'm also dealing with a little bit of a health thing with my daughter. Hopefully nothing too serious. It's still a little bit of a mystery at the moment. We think it's some kind of a viral infection that it seems to just be like high fever that comes back whenever like fever management medication wears off, as well as a little rash on her neck and some, which has mostly cleared up, but some sore neck, and we can't necessarily tell if it's stiff neck or like skin pain. We're not exactly sure. We were away when this whole thing like kind of started, and you know, we went to a doctor, or we had a doctor kind of diagnose it as potentially, maybe it was a fungal infection. But then, you know, they gave us a cream, but then there was a fever too, which, you know, isn't really typical for fungal infections. So we gave antibiotics and fungal cream, and things got better after 2 weeks for about a week and a half or so. But then she woke up the other day and said her neck hurt, and again, we have a fever. So we've now been to the ER. We've ruled out, I think we've ruled out meningitis, thankfully. That's the scarier one. But she does have full range of motion, and she has no light sensitivity. So those are things that are typically concerns for meningitis. And she has her meningitis vaccine as well. So, you know, that does also lessen the risk. Yeah, so we don't think it's that. But there's a myriad of other things that, you know, it could be. And the problem is those symptoms that she has, they're kind of like red herring type symptoms that exist in all sorts of different things that are tick-borne, that are like viral, you know, so it's kind of a mystery that we're trying to solve. So right now, she's comfortable. Like whenever she has pain, we're going between ibuprofen and children's Tylenol. And whenever she has medicine, she's fine. She's feeling fine. But it's when the medicine wears off, then the fever comes back and the neck pain comes back. So I am currently doing fever monitoring for 24 hours. And then I will be taking her back tomorrow to see the doctor again. I've been very, very lucky in that the doctor's incredible. She's like really, you know, looking at all of the unusual things too. So we ran a bunch of tests. I think the worst part for my daughter was having to get an IV, because they like to put IVs in kids in case they need to, like, you know, I think I like this one, this side better, in case they need to give them medication or if they need to take more blood for different tests. So this week, unfortunately, she's had 2 IVs, which she didn't really need because they only took blood once, but it's okay. It's not that different from just getting blood, you know, getting a little block put in. But she was a champ about it, as much as she could be. So yeah, I'm hoping we sort this out this week, and get an idea. They do think it could just be like a viral thing that's a little aggressive. They're seeing a lot of that right now with kids, and I don't know if this is the same situation. Maybe you haven't noticed where you live, but whenever I go to like a pharmacy, there is literally no children's medicine, like no Tylenol, no ibuprofen, nothing like that can be found. It's out like online on Amazon in Canada. It's out everywhere, and I was reading that there's even shortages at the factory. So what the doctor did tell me is that, you know, what's not really being said a whole lot that maybe most people don't really understand is that there's a lot of COVID after kind of weird viral type illnesses that are happening. Oh, I don't know if this is going to stick with this glue. So like a lot of people are managing fevers and pain for their children at home, and it's really hard to get medicine. But I mean, I'm noticing it also with adult pain medication that there's not as much as usual, and that some different kinds of like Tylenol, I have friends who need certain kinds of Tylenol for things like migraines. They've been completely out for some time in most stores. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit to think about. I obviously have some kind of strong feelings about people not wearing masks. I feel like a lot of this stuff is very preventable, especially for our little ones who can't get vaccinated yet. I'm kind of hoping that mandates come back, to be honest, because I don't know. I look at it like this. My options are wear a mask for 30 minutes while I grocery shop, or don't and potentially get sick, make my whole family sick, and make a stranger sick who could have an immunocompromised situation. Or yeah, why, right? Why when we have all these tools? It's completely preventable, and it's pretty easy to wear a mask. You know, even the people who run into like a Starbucks for 5 minutes to get a coffee, like, why can't they wear a mask? Why? The universe. The questions of the universe, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I will move on from my favorite, not so favorite topic. I think I'm only going to need one of these. I have to think about which one I want to use. But yeah, I have to give it up to my local hospital, because despite the fact that our entire healthcare system is suffering right now with very little action from our government, and that all of our healthcare workers are extremely, extremely overworked, underpaid, and stressed, they are amazing, incredible people, and I wish I had the ability to do a heck of a lot more for them, because they deserve it. Okay, I don't want to cover this one poem here. I think it's a cool poem. So we've got our animal. Yeah, I'm going to glue those down. Go ahead and glue those down. But yeah, we didn't have a long wait, thankfully, in the pediatrics unit, though I do have to say, I think the pediatric ward of the hospital is about my least favorite place to go, ever. I never, ever want to go there. It is the hardest place to be, and the hardest things that you overhear and that you experience with other families who are having problems with their children and health issues, and just hearing kids cry and kids, you know, express things that I won't even get into here. It was extremely emotionally difficult for me. Because, yeah, kids are very close to the best thing in the world, right? They're the best of us. So, that being said, I hope all the kids are okay. Alright, so we have our zoo animal, a portion of a food or drink label, some handwriting, a sticker. We need a sticker, and we have something in the doctor's office, and now we need some sticker. That will kind of pull this together a little bit, although that's not really the intention of this kind of book. So here's a sticker and something in threes. We have these 3 cool flowers, which I think would look really neat here. I want to cover maybe just the logo of that packaging. And maybe I will put one here. I sort of feel like I need something up here too. Maybe we'll do that with a sticker as well. So there's our 3. And then I'll see if I have a sticker that works with something up there. That kind of goes with this whole thing. If not, I definitely have like a label or something. Oh, this could be cool. Let's go with this one. It's kind of like a label. And that's the sticker. Okay. So then, I think I'll just add a little bit of scraps to this. And I have this fun old page of a very old scrapbook that I've been kind of using up, and I think it's a good color to just add some color here. I just feel like I want to look back on these collages and enjoy what I see, so I don't want to make them too lazy, you know? It should still be a cohesive collage, even though it's with random kind of things. I think that's the big struggle that I have with this book, is like there's not enough like intention to it. It's just about creating for the heck of it, and sometimes I struggle with that, although when I'm doing it, it doesn't feel stressful at all. It feels very much the opposite. But I think I personally try to put purpose into most of the things I do. Like if I'm going to spend time on this, what is it for? What will I do with it? I don't know. It's these kind of minimalistic tendencies. It's like how I'm changing or something in life. I never ever was, I'm still not a minimalist. Oh my goodness, I'm a maximalist for sure. But I'm trying to change that a little bit. And I feel really good about that, honestly. I don't know if it's something about like, as you move Like you go through life and you get a little older and you start to think like, or maybe when you have kids and you start to think like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Or like you just don't have as much space, money, or time for the things that you used to before you had kids. That's probably a big part of it for me. But I'm okay with that. I also just don't see myself as like attached to certain things or interested as I used to be. Like I used to be a huge collector of like vintage toys, and I still have loads of them in my possession. But like nowadays I'm thinking more about like, well, maybe I'll sell these, you know, do I really need them? And like there was a time when I would never have considered that, especially the ones that I've like, you know, hunted for like years of my life. I've tried to find these, but now I'm just kind of like not as attached. It's weird. I also think I'm thinking that way about like stuff because, you know, we do plan to move eventually once we have, you know, our ducks in order. We've kind of given ourselves a little bit of a break on that when we have small kids, because the truth of the matter is like we're really busy people and it's hard to manage you know, doing everything you need to do to move, especially to keep the house like super pristine clean, when the minute you get something cleaned, like a tornado goes through and it's either a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this one now. So there we go. There is week 21. That's fun. Let's move on to week 22. I am going to collect all my stuff that I need to do that, so I will be right back. Okay, let's move on to week 22. A tag. I have a little tag here. Something seen in the sky. I pulled actually, this is not what I pulled out for that, but it is a bird, and that is seen in the sky. I pulled this out for something sharp because of the claws on this bird. So that's both. Oh no, it's something sharp also. I'm going to do 2 different sharp things, although these don't look that sharp anymore. They're rusty old scissors, circa 1780s to 1810s, found in a wood-lined privy well on Fells Point, Baltimore, Maryland. Something with wheels. We have this rusty toy train passenger car, circa 1900s to 10s, from a Bronx landfill. This is from a book called Past Objects. That's about this guy who goes and he does a lot of like archaeological digging and stuff and finds all these interesting things. Some washi tape. I grabbed this to kind of go along with the tag, and the bonus is money. So I found this fake school money that looks like the original Canadian $2 bill. So we don't distribute $1 or $2 bills anymore in Canada. We've moved to the loonie and the toonie, which are coins. So yeah, we also don't have pennies anymore. So that's some Canadian trivia for you. Okay, so I think with this, what I might do is, I kind of feel like I want to use like the whole thing as a background here. So let's just tear a bit from the top. Okay. I am so glad that we are almost approaching the weekend. I am filming this on Friday. Hopefully I will also get it uploaded on Friday, depending on how my day goes. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to it just being the weekend, even though I do have stuff to do. Okay, so let's just glue that down as the whole background for the whole piece, the whole collage. Oopsie, kind of dropped that down a little funny there. There we go. Okay, that's done. Now, a tag, something seen in the sky, something with wheels, something sharp, washi tape. Okay, so I think what I'll do now is I'm going to cut out this bus. It'd be so cool to find something like this that was so rusty See, these are the kind of things that make me a magpie. I definitely love weird, rusty, old found objects. I have a girlfriend who, she collects old bottles that she finds in, you know, or she buys from people who find them in different places. She's more of the collector than the finder, but she collects the bottles with her dad, and it's really, really cool. And I know my dad, he lives in a turn of the century building that he was doing some renovations in the basement, and when he opened up the walls he found some really cool old bottles, both like liquor bottles and like prohibition type kind of things, and some medicine bottles, so it was kind of neat. Okay, so how do I make this fit together? So, you know, maybe this little mouse can just point these scissors at this bird. Kidding. Okay, we have to create some kind of continuity here, which isn't always easy, to be honest. So I'm thinking about this like maybe some kind of a cabinet of curiosa. I had this little frame that was hanging around on my desk for the longest time. It was a die cut. It was just floating around here, and you think I can find it now? Nope, nope. I think I shoved it in the Tuesday 10 bin, which is getting a little bit crazy, admittedly. I need to get on dealing with that too, because I've been neglecting this poor thing. Can I find it? Can I find it? Just having a real quick look here. I do not see it. Okay, let's just grab some scraps out of there. We're going to create a cabinet of curiosa, I think. That will make this collage make a little bit of sense here, and not just have a bus floating in midair or... Okay, so let's just move all this stuff for now, and let me just kind of measure that. What else is new and exciting? So it's really hot here, but I haven't been doing a whole lot because of my kiddo not feeling well, but also we just got a new HVAC system. I think I mentioned that, I can't remember. And it is wonderful. You wouldn't even know it was hot outside. It's so good. Kind of like thinking about how when I was a kid we didn't have air conditioning, and that, you know, still a lot of people don't, and with this warming planet, I don't know, it's not good. It's also why the whole topic of like free access to swimming being such a problem in a lot of places, definitely in Ontario, really bothers me, because of the waterfront. We have, you know, the most water, like we have so much water with all the Great Lakes, but unfortunately the waterfront is getting very gentrified with like you know, private property being bought on the waterfront, and also, you know, with not really a lot of accounting for public use, and also just like businesses buying it up, and in a lot of towns they kind of don't like to share with outsiders, or the concept of outsiders. It's very disturbing to me. So there's a lot of like no parking, like, you know, local beach only kind of stuff, and that really concerns me. I'm worried that that kind of behavior is going to cause a lot of people to have no way to cool down, and it's going to get dangerous. But I don't know, like a lot of things in life these days, it feels like it's really hard to push for ethical change. People only really get involved in things when it directly impacts them. Like it's a complicated situation, and I know that, but hopefully we start to see people understand that like the greater good is what's the most important. I don't know. I need, this is some cool paper. I might add that for the fun of it. That's kind of cool. Then, I don't think I have any more of this paper hanging about. I might. Hold on one second. I don't, but this will work. This will work fine, actually. I really like that too. And what I'll do is just cut it down a bit. Okay, I need this a little bit less. Yep, so I made that a little too short. Somehow, I thought I just measured it, but that's okay. Apparently I am not completely with it right now. That's okay. There we go. Okay, now this can go on top of it, I think. I was planning that, but I might use that as a shelf instead. It's not quite long enough, but I don't necessarily think that matters. So I'm going to cut a little bit of this. I need to shorten it a bit here. And I need my glue book, which is under here somewhere. Oh, there's another one. I have, for whatever reason, I have 2 glue books on the go. I don't know why. It's just jamming up my desk more. Yeah, but I'm hoping for a Sunday that's going to be nice and restful. I don't know what I'm going to do other than to deal with my daughter's doctor's appointment on Saturday. I'm anticipating that taking hours because it's at the hospital, and that's just a reality, but that's fine as long as we sort out the situation. Okay, then do I feel like I like that there? Yeah, I kind of do. Be like a floating shelf. Then I will put the bus on the shelf. Okay. Just going to ink the windows a little because they're bright white, and I want it to blend in with the background so it looks see-through, you know, as it would be. Now we have this down here, so a couple things I want to do with that. I think I will cut a second shelf out of this brown paper. That right there. Then I'll pop that on there just because I like how it looks. Okay. And I might take another piece. I have to think about, okay, what do I want to do with this money? I've got these little birds. I think what I'm going to do is make this like some kind of a smaller, it would be like a smaller picture of the birds. And it could sit down here on this shelf maybe. my glue stick. Let's get these out of the way. And then I need like a fine liner here. Go. Let's make that kind of like a little framed image and put a little ink in here. There we go. Then we need these scissors, and we need to cover this little bit here with some of this paper again, so it looks kind of like the backing of a shelf, hopefully. Yeah, that's good. And I have not used that tag yet either. What do we want to do with that tag? I have an idea maybe. Now let's put those scissors on the shelf and then we will rough that up a little. Where did the tag go? Oh, I do. Oh, there it is. Okay, right here. Make it into a littler tag. Actually, that's too. Hold on. Yeah, I need to change up what I just did here. Do I like this better? Maybe. I need that tag again. Why is everything being difficult today? There we go. I just want to make the corner even on this tiny baby tag. Alright, that, and then there's something cool on here that we might want to add to this little tag. Some little calculations and a spool on here. Needs to get a little smaller. Okay, yeah, that fits for the most part. Actually, I just don't like that paper for the tag. I'm gonna use this one. I want to make it a little more even as well. I'm going to cut here and then here. Now, do I want it to go this way or brown? I think brown would be nicer. So let's glue that on. I think I did that too sharp again. I'm not gonna stress about it. It's a silly thing to stress about. You know what? There we go. Then what I'll do is just there. It's hard to do these little miniature thingies. Yeah. And then I'm gonna poke a little hole in it without stabbing my finger, please. Okay. And then I will grab a little piece of this hemp, or jute, actually, it's jute. I might need to wax the end here to get it through, we'll see. No, okay. This has become a little bit more complex than I had planned here. Why? I don't know why. Just because. Okay, we have a little tag. Now let's just glue that on like it's hanging right there. Actually, maybe up here. Yeah. It's just hanging right there. Maybe it's a price tag on a shelf. Who knows? Now we need the washi tape, which I think will just be kind of a collage-y element. I'm not going to try to incorporate it into the shelf in any way. Covering any little spots that sort of seem like they could use a little. There. Okay. And we are done. That was week number 22. I think that's fun. Okay, I'll be back with the next week. Okay, hey everyone, we're here with week 23. Somehow I think my mic was not plugged in all the way, so we didn't get any sound for this one. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a voiceover here as I'm working away in high speed for this video. So this was the color red and some street signs. So I've got a Richard Scarry book here, and this is like a funny Garfield French note written by a child that I came across that was stuffed inside the book. So I'm looking for a street sign scene inside the book so that I can preserve what I had pulled out originally with this cool lamp post that I don't want to use up. So I'm just kind of scrolling on through to find what I need. And eventually I do find this page that has a little street sign on it. So we'll go with that. The other things are, I'll find out when I get off of the page. A bit of a napkin. So I've got some napkin there, some stamping. So I have leaf stamps, some music. So I have, it's like a song title, I think, or song lyrics. And so this is from an old, music magazine. So I'm just collaging a bit of music at the top and using the Richard Scarry as the background, which has the road sign. So just getting that all stuck down. Then the music collage goes up at the top, and I chose a title that kind of goes along with this, like, you came, you saw, you conquered. And then I've got you had to have something with wings. So I had this napkin bit here. I was going to use the hummingbird, but then decided against it and ended up just going with a bit of floral for the corner of this section. And then I wanted to use the birds in this vintage field guide page here. So I'm just fussy cutting out this lovely woodpecker. And I was talking about how one year we had a woodpecker in our apple tree that was coming along and pecking away at our apples, but she was only there for 1 year, and apparently sometimes flicker woodpeckers are known to do that. So then I'm just looking at what I've got so far and deciding that I'm pretty much done. I just have to do a bit of stamping with these leaves. And I'm mentioning that I'm not going to pull up my acrylic block, so that's why you're seeing a little bit of a shadow around the leaf. You can avoid that using an acrylic block. Okay, so for week 24, we are challenged to share our favorite song, artist, or style of music. Create a collage with this as your theme. So this one's really hard for me because I have a very diverse music taste. I listen to a lot of music, so it's kind of hard to choose a favorite per se. And it's changed a lot throughout my life too. So I am going to choose to just make this sort of right now-ish, and I'm going to choose this bird that this is actually a warbler, I think, but I'm going to call it a blackbird. And I really like the song Blackbird right now by the Beatles, you know, the one that's like, Blackbird Singing in the Dead of Night. That one. My son really loves it. It's his favorite like music outside of Dua Lipa. He's 2. So I really like that song. I think it's a beautiful song. And so yeah, I'm just going to that's going to be my take on things, I guess. So I'm just going to collage with some scraps and use this as my focal point. I just have to pull my scrap bin up. Hold on. My scrap bin is getting a little out of control. So I think I'm going to use some of this wallpaper. Maybe some of that. And then maybe some scrap coffee dye paper. Let's just see how this goes. Yeah, so I have kind of a all over the place respect for music. There's not a lot of music that I don't like. I think if I had to say there was one type of music that I do not like, it would be modern country music from, I would say, the 80s onward. It's not my thing at all. I like old country music, like, but yeah, not the modern stuff. It's a little too a lot of things for me. So I'm using Art Glitter Glue to glue this down because this is a pasted wallpaper, so it feels a little bit powdery on back, which I'm never really a fan of. So I'm just going to add that as a large piece of the collage background. And this, I think I'll just use this piece because this one isn't really that interesting. And I will rip it in half so that we can move some of this around. There we go. Went to check on the kiddo and have lunch. Her fever is not rising right now, so that is a good thing. I'm hoping that stays the trend. I'm really hoping this is just like an aggressive like virus that the first round of antibiotics did not clear up. I don't know. Not anything more concerning, but you know, kids are a lot of stress and a lot of joy, but it's a lot either way, and I just want to get this whole thing solved so that we can all kind of take a bit of a breather, that there's nothing more going on. Okay. Oops. So I hit one of my little, I have these clips that I have up here. I have like an overhead kind of camera setup, and I use the overhead rack that my husband built for me to hang all sorts of stuff on. So sometimes if you hear things clanging around, it's because I accidentally hit something there. Okay. Yeah, I am working on a couple of journals right now, kind of in the background. And then I'm excited because I got my new design team kit today. So I'll be looking forward to working away on that. I guess I'll add a little bit of music too, because this is about music. Take that little bit of leftover music that I used in the last collage. There we go. And I'll cut out my quote-unquote blackbird. Again, I'm just in a mood of like wanting to use stuff up, so I just grabbed my nearest bird book, of which I have many. And this is a really nice one. It has very nice vintagey birds in it. Well, vintage birds. It is a vintage bird book, so. there's the bird. I don't know if we'll use the little egg too, maybe. We'll see. Okay. So then I need something as like a bit of a background for this. I have this like die cut frame. I don't think I would use it for this, but it's kind of cute. I could make a branch out of this. Maybe not. I've got some, maybe I'll use some fabric. Because I have some black fabric that I think would be fun. I also need to get working on the next week of my Roxy's Creations Journal of Stitchery Volume 2. It's another thing that I need to do, although I'm not really behind on that one. I'm kind of keeping pace, thankfully. Although I don't really stress myself about creative endeavors. It's like, I do what I can. Okay, so if we lay this down here, this piece of fabric maybe, I could kind of put her like so, maybe, yeah, that could be nice. So I'll clip a little off the bottom, and then I will find my 3-in-1 glue here, which thankfully is in a new bottle. So it's not going to get all jammed up again, hopefully. I think the secret is not to let it get too empty, and then you don't have to squeeze it too hard and cause little cracks in the bottle. I have a feeling that the chemicals in this glue over time wear the plastic in the bottles down. So I've done a couple things to try to preserve the bottle for longer. Okay. I would normally glue paper with 3-in-1, but because I'm laying it on top of fabric, I'm going to this time. Maybe put her here, a little bit higher so we can see a bit more of the branch. There we go. Just going to give it a little press, press, press. And I'm just looking in my Tuesday 10 bucket here to see if I have anything that I would want to add to this. Doesn't look like it. It is so hard to use up scraps sometimes. When you need something specifically relevant. This will do. Little bits of this vintage gift wrap maybe. Just add some of those for a bit of collage-y. And then maybe I'll add the egg as well. So if you're doing anything this weekend, tell me what you're up to. Other than going to my daughter's doctor's appointment, I am maybe going to, I don't know, work on journals, the journals that I'm making right now. I'm going to try to make a few videos if I can. See what the weather is like if I want to maybe try to get outside. We've had a weird bit of time here, a week or two, of just not being outside as much as we normally are, and it's like, ooh, I don't like it. No fun. But when kiddos have to rest, that's what they have to do. So, okay, there. I think I'm done with that one. So I will come back momentarily with week 25. Week 25. Okay, a map. I've got this atlas here. Something found in the water. I've got a little bit of a few pages left from this How to Hide an Octopus book. A flag. I found this Japanese book that has flags in it in this landscape. A picnic item. I have this little book called Ant and Bee, and picnics to me are always all about ants. The sun and the moon. I have this image of a solar eclipse from like sort of a planetary monitoring guide, and then the bonus is handwriting. So I think what I want to do is I want to use this as my background. With the flag, and I'll probably use this side of it. We'll have these flags and then maybe this little flag kind of table. So let's just get that pulled out here. It took me forever to find the stuff I needed for this one. Every now and then. Okay, and then about right there. So let's get, oh, it's so pretty on the back. That's okay. I love these books. I found this whole series of like these Japanese books that are illustrated just exquisitely with these little miniature landscape scenes, and they're amazing. I usually hoard them for using in journals, but I will allow myself this one page because every now and then you have to give yourself something. Okay, so there is the background. Now, I think with this, what I want to do is I just want to cut it in half. I only want half of it. Then I'm going to just cut it out. I don't want to cover up a lot of this. That's too much, so I'm just going to trim down here. Yeah, we'll add that there. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but I want to do all of these in one video. I don't want to do multiple catch-up videos. I just want to do it in one video. So I need to hurry up. So we need some atlas. We need our oceany creature, who I think will be part of like a foreground kind of image. Pages are all upside down. A limpet might be cool. They say it was something found underwater, so that could be plants, that could be whatever we like. I don't think a fish really fits in here, but I do think this limpet would be cool. And maybe some green plants here. Let's take one of these. kelp. Kelp is such an interesting and cool plant. I remember being in, going to New Brunswick, and we went to, I forget the name of the beach there, where the water, like the tide rises by several meters each day and then falls again. It's like a weird phenomenon, and I can't remember the name of the beach. It was near the Flower Pot Rocks, I think, and we saw such cool kelp there. It was like, had these big, like, round, almost like pod looking things. It was so neat. It's really like a different world in the Maritimes. I feel like I'd love to see myself there one day to live. It's just, I don't know, there's a lot of good things. We considered moving after we went to Newfoundland, but it's kind of like you have to be okay with like a lot of limitations, and also winters like are really hard there. I mean, I'm the kind of person who definitely knows how to like hunker down. I have a lot of like life skills that are survival kind of life skills, but at the same time, there are some things that I don't think I'd really want to live with, like not the best access to food and health care. You know, the things that a lot of people have literally no choice but to struggle with because that's just where they are. But, you know, I have things to think about as it relates to those kind of decisions, because I don't just think for myself anymore. I have a family to think about. So, all right, I think what I want to do is I just want to tear a bit of this map. And have it be like a bottom kind of scrap down here. And then my little ant and bee book. I need to find an ant in here, one that I want to use. That one's so cute, but it's a little big. Look at this koala. Oh my goodness. That is so cute. I have to find a picture of an ant in this ant and bee book. There's one. Maybe let's go with that one. It's not all that big. Okay. Oops. Larger seaweed. Kelp. Oops. So that needs to go over here a little more. There we go. And then limpet. Have a really lovely little collection of limpets from the Irish Sea that I was sent years ago as part of an art swap. Have to play with those sometime. Okay, so here is a little bee and a little ant. I think I might just cut out this little dish that they're sitting in and just kind of cut around them. Maybe even keeping some of this grass. This one's a little weird, I know. It's okay. Maybe sit them right there, like they're just looking out at this whole scene. Right, instead of at this gate where these people are, we'll put this ant and this bee, and they can just be looking out here. Okay, so we have the map, something found underwater, the flag, picnic item, sun or moon, oh, and my handwriting. Let's just write a few things that make me happy. So we'll say toadstools and moss and toads and what are other little things that make me happy? Bees. Okay, so that's it for now, and thank you so much. I will be back again in a few moments with week 26. Okay, so week 26 is something that emits heat, and I'm using this. This is a purity range illustration from like an old book on electronics, and it talks about here the receiver warm-up may be accelerated by operating the TV set at a high brightness level. So that is that. A pair of something. I'm going with this. This is a pair of rice stalks, like haystacks, but made of rice stalks. A face. This is what I'm going to use for the face, but it's also something royal. This is from Hamilton, Ontario, February 19th of 1934. It's a newspaper clipping of the Belgian King Leopold and Queen Astrid. This was after the death of King Albert, who had died in a fall while mountain climbing near Namur, or Namur, I guess. Yeah. Then, a bit of green. I grabbed this scraplet here from my scrap bin, and the bonus is text other than English or your native language. So we have some Roman script here and Unseal script. I'm not even sure what that is, but yeah. I know that English is Roman based, but it's not exactly the same, right? So alright, so I think I will start just by tearing out these stalks of rice. And then we want to get the picture from this. Okay, there we go. Now, I think I'll take the bit of green back here. Maybe even add a little more green to it to create a cohesive background collage. Take my script here. Maybe I could use this whole thing because it has green in it as well as script. And then we can just cut this up because there's some Chinese script there too that I didn't even notice. That there. And this here. That would be like a really fun focal point. Okay. All right, let's glue this background down. This is just some Amity Bloom scraps, flowers. So I'm currently learning how to use Procreate. My husband, for my birthday, got me a new iPad with the Apple Pen, and I'm really excited about that because, you know, I have done a lot of design work in the past, and I've kind of gotten away from it as I've like moved on to some other things, and I, you know, didn't have the most updated kind of latest greatest tools, and so now I kind of do, and that's pretty fun, and I'm looking forward to you know, learning a new program that I haven't used before, really, and then maybe using it in creating some digitals that are more my style, right? And I'm happy about that, because I really would like to do more digital design. I used to do a ton of web design and digital design, but I haven't really done a lot of it in the last while. I do still create digitals, but I mean, like, you know, really personally designed with my own digital illustrations and those kind of things. So yeah, I'll be looking at that as I can. Okay, there we go. I think I'm happy with that as is. I don't think it needs a whole lot more. So we are now going to move on to week 27. We're catching up. We're to July 4th through 10th. So let me go figure this out, and I'll be right back. Week 27 is something with a bumpy surface. So I'm choosing to use this old piece of ledger paper. You'll see here the surface is quite bumpy because it's from an old scrapbook where I've done this. I've torn off some old glued down images, so like it's really bumpy and textured. Anything that can blow in the wind. So I have the perfect thing for this. It's a book called Seeds by Wind and Water, and it talks about how seeds blow in the wind, so that's pretty convenient. It's also a beautiful book. Something in the shape of a triangle. So I grabbed this because I'm forever trying to use up scraps, and it's got this little triangular header on this building that's from a Richard Scarry book. Lined paper. I found this in my scraps, and it's got lines. A number of numbers. I found this really cute old junior arithmetic book from 1938, and it's got lots of stuff with numbers. I actually just opened like the first couple of pages, and it's called Exploring with Numbers. And so here's a nice little page here. Maybe we'll just grab that out while we're here. And then what was the last one? Bonuses instructions. So this is some technical drawings. It talks about adding jumper wires, like how to do all of this stuff. This is all very technical. I have no clue what any of it means, but we're going to use it. Okay, so I think first things first, I will use my bumpy texture here as the background for this. Now, I just want to get, this is actually kind of great because the rest of this ledger is really beautiful, and I want to use this writing elsewhere. But this gives me a reason to use up this really bumpy bit in the middle that's not so ideal. But see, that is really pretty. So this will be our background. And we just need to trim it down just a tad here. And again, we'll save that little bit of scrap because it's just lovely. Okay, so let's glue this one down. If you recently saw my video on the lap book that I made about the sort of antique collector, this is a part of the old scrapbook that I used to create that book. The majority of the scrapbook did go into the book for sure, but I do have a few things left over from it. So it's nice to keep this as a bit of a memento of that book. think one of the things I really enjoy about making journals is, you know, being able to get things that I love and turn them into something artsy and like have them move, you know, into a new life. I really like that. So let's just cut this out here. I guess theoretically up here it's a little bit of a triangle too. All right. And I will glue that down here. Then my lined paper here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the lines, but I'm going to keep just some of that flower. It's so pretty. Yeah, I think that'll go there. And then we need to get our seeds or whatever blowing in the wind here. I'll use this. I think I'll use the words too, because, you know, it's kind of cool because it actually is kind of also like instructions. It's the instructions on how the seeds blow in the wind. So that's kind of cool. Maybe we will make that more the focal point. I'll still use the other instructions just because I think it adds to the collage. It's kind of fun. But it'll be more part of the background, I think. It's funny because there's actually a number of numbers in there too. There's one more little piece of this up here maybe. I'll just save that little bit in my scraps. And then we'll go to the number of numbers with this. That's also instructions. So, all right, now okay, I think what I'm going to use is these. I'm going to just take these seeds loose here, and I'm going to tear them out. And then I want to tear out this last verse. This says, when the wind stops blowing, the umbrella and the seed come down to the ground. If the seed settles into the earth, someday another dandelion may grow. So we use that. And then I'll probably grab this as well. And we don't want to cover up our whole triangle here. Yeah, we've still got our triangle. That can go there. And then maybe I will tear these all out individually and let them flutter about like the seeds that they are. And and yeah, they can plant some dandelions. And this can go to scrap, I think. Yeah. Okay. You know, I think I want to find, if I have, I do right there, there's a bit of blue ink. I just want to ink around these seeds with some blue for some reason. I just feel like it will add some color and it will kind of be reminiscent of blue skies. Just some kind of fun and quick, messy inking. Then I'm going to go up and have a little visit with my kiddos. I know that my son had a bath because it was spaghetti for lunch today, and spaghetti always equals a bath with my son, who is like the spaghetti monster. It's not just lunch, it's also a painting activity, so it is what it is with kids, right? You spend a lot of time cleaning. That's okay, they're worth it. They're really funny and fun. Okay. There, so I think that is what I was looking for. Okay, so next one is going to be July 11th through 17th, week 28. We're getting there. We're getting so much closer. We're almost to August. So I'll be back in a few moments. Week 28, something related to coffee. I have, this is an old image from an Eaton's catalog, and we have a coffee pot here, and some other things, different coffee pots and different, like, you know, related to coffee mostly stuff. So yeah, there's that. And the next one is anything with a bit of pink. So I grabbed this, but also this, because this is just some roll off from my jelly printing, and it's like a pinky. It's got some different shades in it, but I'm also going to use some of that probably. Something in the shape of a hexagon cutter. A photo or a portion of a photo. Oh, I have to grab that. Ink, whatever that means to you. We have loads of ink and a piece of a dictionary page. I have a Chinese English dictionary page right here. So I guess I should just grab a photo. Let me do that real quick. Okay, vintage photo, of which I have many. This one's really cute though. It's like a whole family on a tractor. Excuse me. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I think, is get started here. You know, they call for ink. So ink, whatever that means to us. So I'm going to use Distress Oxide ink. I'm just gonna go in the background here with some ink. And just kind of ink this whole thing up a little bit. This is with Broken China. Okay. Now, because this is related to coffee, why don't we just use a little bit of coffee spray to activate our oxide. Okay. We'll just let that do its thing. And what I want to do is I want to cut some hexagons out of this. So let's do that now. This punch is so big for my little hands. To like let it go and grab it again. It's so big for one hand. Okay. And then we will just cut this off. Oops, come on. Why? Okay. And I think I can get one more line of these maybe. We'll see if we need that many. I don't know. This page is not quite that big, but we'll see. Use it up, right? These are also really cool. It's from the other day when I was jelly printing with bread ties, which I actually have an improvement that I want to make on that process. So I'll probably do a separate video about that. I got to thinking about it afterward, and I think I have a better idea. So I'm just going to build the background here with these hexagons. Oh, and I hate when I gouge my glue. It's so annoying. Okay. Just going to go right ahead and just glue these on here. Try to straighten it out a little bit. Whenever I work with hexagons, I think about a project that I've been working on for like 10 years. It's called the Beekeepers Quilt. If you're a knitter, you may be aware of it. It is a pattern by Tiny Owl Knits for this lovely quilt that's made from stuffed, like, you knit a hexagon and you stuff it with some, like, could be polyfill, could be wool, could be cotton, whatever you prefer. And a little bit of lavender if you want, and then you stitch them all together and you have this beautiful beekeeper's quilt. And I've been working on it because of course it's me and I want to take everything to, you know, the ends of the earth. So I decided, oh, I have a king size bed, I'm going to calculate how many of these hexy puffs, as we call them, I will need for this project. So it ended up being about just about 2,000. I think I have about 1,100 done. I've been working on it for 10 years off and on, because like I forget about it and then I put it down and then like who knows, and yeah. I need to get it done. I want to get it done. I really do. They're really fun to work on though. They're a great project to bring places with you. It's a nice small little project, so like you could take it on a bus, you could take it anywhere really. I should bring it with me tomorrow for my little hospital visit, but I know I'll be too busy with my daughter because she gets a little bored, which is expected when you're 5, so that's okay. All right, so that's what I want for that. Now, I think the focal point here is going to be this family, but I'm not going to use the entire photo because I sort of feel like that will jam it up too much. I'm not even sure if I'm going to end up using this pink. So what do I want to look for on here? Maybe just kind of some cool, some kind of a meaningful word on this page. There's this one, which is G, U, and sort of a T. I'm not sure. Maybe an I. Yeah, it's an I think, but it has an accent above, and it goes go back to or return, your date of return. So that could be kind of neat. Turtle, tortoise. Let me cut that out for a different project. There's a little bit on there that I want to use for something else. Okay. The collective, be owned by the collective. Be in charge of firefighting. I'm gonna go with this little bit here as kind of a little bit of a meaningful dictionary verse. So let's glue that on. Perhaps here. Then we need our coffee pot. Probably just cut this one out for now. And we'll see if we want to add any others. And I may actually just kind of cut this out like in a bit of an interesting way instead of have it be just square. I do want to keep the top label though, so maybe we'll do that. And then with these folks, I think I'm just going to cut kind of the same way with them. Oh, what do we have over here? Oh, we have a dog. We can't miss out on our dog friend here. Okay. So there's our photo snippet. I think I'll take the bottom off. It kind of looks meh to me. Okay, so what if we did this? And then, you know what? I might take a couple of pieces of this. Just to add some interest here and there. Maybe like one here. And maybe one here actually, and one back here. Okay, let's get that glued down. I think I want that behind there, so I won't push it all the way down quite yet. Okay. And I think I will use our glitter glue to glue this down because actually both of these, this is also kind of thicker paper. There. Okay. And do we want to put maybe these little, yeah, I might add a few more of these coffee pots from over here, or creamery cans. Okay. Just to kind of put something up here that would be a little interesting. Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm good with that. Okay, done. Okay, it's time to do week 29. Let me collect supplies. Okay, week 29, something that turns or spins. I have this from this book, Dolls That Adults Make, and it's a spinning wheel. And we have, you know, some kind of crafty women there. A key or keys. This is like a fly page from a book that's covered in keys. A ticket of any kind. So this is a little snippet of a ticket. A portion of a brochure or advertisement. That would be this. And a building. The bonus is a place. And this is Hamilton, Ontario, February 19th, 1934, from an old newspaper. So I'm going to think about how I want to do this. I think I'm going to need another piece of paper because I want to use this building. This is really cool. It's like a house at night with the windows all lit up and like there's just frames on the wall everywhere. There we go. And Hamilton, the place that I'm choosing to use, is a really nice city, not too far from me. I'll use that as a background. And it's a city that we visit relatively often to do some shopping, and it's a very like kind of old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, but like a lot of blue-collar kind of people, cool people, and it's a nice place, nice people. Lots of mom and pop type businesses, which we really love. They have a legendary donut shop called Granddad's Donuts. Oh my gosh. You need the Granddad's Donuts. Trust me, they are amazing. If you're ever in Hamilton, Ontario, go to Granddad's Donuts. You will not regret. They make the loveliest fresh donuts that are all their own. And like their own kinds of flavors. They're really famous for like this orange curler that they make. It's really yummy, and yeah, you can't go wrong. Their donuts are just really good. They do like 3 bakes per day, and you sort of have to know when so that you can get one. So I'll put a spinning wheel here, and so we have this advertisement back here. Think about how I want to use that. Maybe this is going to feel like a little mishmashy, I think, if I just do it this way. I think what I'll do is I'll cut her out of the advertisement. So she could be out here with her spinning wheel, maybe doing a little evening spinning. And then the other gal here, her bottom is cut off, so maybe she's like inside a window. Inside the window, like looking out. Although that would make her enormous, right? She's probably a little too gigantic for up there. Maybe she's looking over the roof. Where would she be? Maybe she could be there and that wouldn't look too weird. Like she's right up in the window. We'll cut the edge off of her and she could just go right here. And then maybe we'll put the wheel over here and she could be on this side of it. Like maybe she's hiding behind the wheel, like, and that's her mom. And she wants her to come in because it's that magical time of night when your parents say you better be in before the lights are out. Before the outdoor lights, the street lamps come on. That was the rule for me. This ticket is going to be the chimney. And the keys are going to be kind of like a abstract night sky situation, I think. And it's cool because there's also some threads and stuff on there, so like it all ties in with the spinning wheel. Let's see. About like that. Okay, yeah, we gotta cut this down a little bit. All right. There's my ticket. There it is. And then I'll put this on last, the Hamilton. Yeah, so I definitely lived by that rule as a kid that you had to be in before the streetlights came on. Like, even though I grew up in like a retirement community and I was one of the only kids most of my entire life, and all my friends were in their 80s. And yeah, I always had this bad habit. I don't know how my parents survived raising me, really. I often think about it. Like, I was just the kind of kid who, like, their imagination just took them away, right? And I would go on these huge adventures, like on my bike. Like, I'd leave town. I would also, back in the day, I would follow the railroad, the old railroad track, not like today's modern railroad tracks of, like, you know, GO trains and stuff. Definitely not that. But we had a really old railroad that went through my hometown, and it wasn't operational at some, like, you know, by the time I think that I wandered on it, but you could walk from like one town to the next. So I would do that, and I would always end up going further than like I could get back in time before it got dark. And I would always have my, well, not always, but I would often have my bike with me. And it was especially bad actually in the winter time, because, you know, you can't move as quickly in the winter time when you're walking in snow. And so that was always troublesome for me. So I would often get home after it was already dark, and my parents would be worrying. But I think they sort of got used to it because I was a pain in the bum kid, you know? But I had a fun childhood. I lived at the library, and I got to do a lot of outdoor stuff. We had a park with a pond, and I used to catch all sorts of frogs and turtles and then like let them go. And that was fun. And sometimes other kids would move to the town for a while, and I would have kind of fleeting friends. And we had a school, and I did have school friends, but I went for long periods of time in my childhood where I just didn't have any friends that would live close enough that we could like walk to see one another, really. But that was okay. Alright, and now our little girl here. You'll just have her kind of, maybe she's just sort of hiding behind the spinning wheel a little bit. And then I'll take my Hamilton snipping. I'll just put it right up the side here, just as a fun little collage snippet there. Okay, we did it, we did it, we did it. Now we are going to go to week 30, and that gets us through to the end of July. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so this one is interesting. Week 30 is, what do you think when you imagine a secret code? Is it a string of random numbers? Is it a strange looking alphabet? Is it symbols in a strange order? Create a collage with something that could look like a secret code. So I think I'm going to go with something that's like, my secret code is like my love language, which is scraps of paper. So hold on. Just gonna grab this, okay? Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a little bit of a love language secret code here, which for me, I will show you how that's gonna work. It is an ancient call to get rid of things that you don't need to keep. Okay. Look at me, I'm still sorting my scraps. I'm still like, ooh, should I tear this up? Yes, tear it up. I'm just going to keep going until I have a decent color blend of nice color here. This is another one of my roll-off sheets from doing jelly printing the other day. Get a more colorful piece here. Get rid of these. Okay. Not napkin. Use this. I don't think that fits. Maybe a bit of music. Why not? Okay, let's start with that and see how far it gets us. I think it'll go pretty far. So first of all, I think I'm not even going to create maybe a background, or should I? Because will this make this? No, I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. Let's just use the existing background maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Okay, so what I want to do is literally, we're going to write sentences with these scraps. Each scrap is a word. I think they're all the same word. Use me up. I like this sparkly. This is a scrapbook paper from a journal that I'm currently working on. Looking forward to finishing the couple journals I'm working on now, because what I'm going to do, other than my design team projects, is I'm just going to, as part of my plan to use things up and not thrift this month, I'm going to dig into a luscious pile of old books that I have and just start making journals. I'm really excited to make some commonplace books, or some books that are themed around like children's books that I really enjoyed, the illustrations. And I have another, like, sort of another series planned, but I can't right now. I need a break after the fairy series. I kind of want to take a little break from doing a series, but I do have a little series planned. I keep doing that where I've collected like more things than I can use in one journal, and I'm like, well, you know, I should probably just make a few of them then, because typically I get more than one person who's interested in a particular theme. So it's a good thing when I have more than one journal, because I know often when I do only one, then I have people who say, oh shoot, I wish I'd seen that first kind of thing. So, and then I feel like, oh dear, you know. But you can only do so much, so it's not really anything to stress about. You know, you only have so much time. So, all right. Well, this one was really fun and relaxing, I gotta say. This is my secret message, but it's not really a secret because I shared it with you, I guess. But, yep. And I'm going to throw the rest of these, I think, into my my bin, except for these, because I can't. They have to go back to scraps. Okay. All right, I think this is the last one that I need to do today. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the stuff. Okay, week 31, here we go. Something with a spine. I've chosen these horses. They have spines. A path or a road. This is from a really old book about Nova Scotia, and that's a lovely path. Your least favorite color. That's a tough one. For me, it's hot red. Anything that makes me feel hot, like this, red with like yellow in it, definitely hot. A formula. I picked, these are little formulas from an old arithmetic book. Crossword or newspaper magazine puzzle. So I've got this cool book called the Blockbuster Quiz Book, and I thought I would use one of those. And the bonus is a dried leaf or flower. So I have a ginkgo leaf here. So I think what I want to do is I want to use this image here as my background of this path. Okay, I'll just glue that down. I could have made that slightly bigger, but that's okay. All right, now we have all these trees here, so that's giving me an idea for the two things. Number one, my least favorite color, and this leaf. So I just want to take a little piece of this and cut out a block of it in the red, and then I'm going to just fold little folds like this, and we're going to cut out some kind of abstract leafy shapes. To a few. Okay, so now let's take all these little leafy shapes and just do a little dab of glue on the back and add them to the trees. That one's very tiny. Just something nice to do to relax, right? I'm not even going to think about how long this video probably is. Oh my goodness. But I think I usually can do one of these collages in about 15 minutes, but I do know that I probably spent more time on a few of these than I normally would. And I think it's just purely because I haven't worked in this for a while and I was like wanting to play with it, which is a good thing. Okay, whoops. All right, they're on there. Then I was thinking about this leaf doing the same kind of thing, but I'm also thinking I might just put it down here as just a separate kind of foreground, like decorative element. I'm pretty sure the stem will get broken off, but I'm just going to try to glue it on anyhow. It's definitely a delicate bit. And I think it will probably go right underneath the horses, because I'm thinking I just want to cut out our horses here. I may just have them right there at the beginning of this path. Sorry if you can hear water running. My husband is, I think he's washing dishes. He's probably running the dishwasher, and the pipe for the dishwasher is in the wall beside me. So it can sometimes be a little loud. Alright, now we've got these like calculations and that sort of thing to deal with. So let's grab one page of this book. I'm going to just do something funny here. So these horses are not your average horses. They are learned horses. And nobody knows it because, you know, they hang out at the end of this long path and maybe no one ever travels down there. But they are just conversing about, you know, the potential answers to a quiz show that they just watched together through the window of the old farmhouse at the end of that lane. Grandma was, you know, watching Murder, She Wrote, but then she decided she would watch some of this game show. And they were all trying to figure out the answers with her. So, yeah. Let's just cut this out. I like that it's like a beehive. Honeycomb, rather. How much of it are we going to want to use? About that much, I guess. We'll just cut across there. It's almost like a big quiz cloud. They created a big quiz cloud from all of their conversing about this quiz show, right? Now let's take some ink and just kind of add some blue around to kind of signify a bit of sky, and to also get rid of this background a bit. Right? Oops. Tore my little leaf a little bit there, but that's okay. All right. There's my quizzical horses. So that is it. We're done. Now, I have no idea if I'm going to stay like caught up doing this or not. But if I don't, then I will just go right ahead and do another video where I do a big long video. So let's take a look here what we did. So here's week 31, week 30, week 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 21, 2, and 21. Yeah, Okay, and that's where we started. So whew, that was a big long collage, right? But that's good. So I will try to get on next week if I can to do this. And if not, then I'll give you another marathon video, I promise. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. If this video was way too long for you, I'm sorry. I hope you collaged or did something like with me and just kind of had fun. So we'll talk again very soon, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye for now.